Philosophy, questioning, enlightenment, deep conversation, spirituality. This is the spiritual download. Welcome back. It's been a while since I've blogged, but I feel that I have a couple of things to share with you guys, just kind of an update on kind of the path that we're kind of all on here towards happiness, human happiness, but also truth and kind of deep truth in life and wisdom. And spirituality is very, very connected with all of these three things, which is what makes spirituality so practical and pragmatic. So we can bring spirituality into our daily life. That's the idea of being human, is so that we can enjoy life by bringing happiness into it and by focusing happiness as our number one human value is happiness for all. Okay, but specifically, this is kind of a more detailed video about non-duality. Okay, so first, I'm going to be talking about the Nondual Trinity. And again, the word non-dual means one, or specifically not two. But Trinity, of course, means three. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is 1 equals 3. Okay, so this is very paradoxical, but it's very important because this is a basic Christian teaching, is that God equals the Father, God, the Son, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, right? So that's a very basic Christian teaching if you're familiar with that as a background, okay? What I'm talking about is a little bit bigger than that. I would say it encompasses all religions, all of history, anything that makes us human. Okay, and what makes us human is this non-dual Trinity, that 1 equals 3. So God, so on one side of the equation, 1, that'll be on the right side of the equation, if 3 equals 1. 1 would be non-duality with a capital N. Okay, so non-duality, another way to think about that is God with a capital G, or the Godhead, or Brahman, or the Tao, which is absolutely everything with a capital E. Everything that could possibly exists as God. The 1, so the 3 equals 1, I'm talking about the one side, is absolutely everything that could ever exist, and it is perfect with a capital P. So that's the one thing that sometimes atheists get wrong, is that yes, everything is non-dual. They probably have some sort of idea of that, but it's actually inherently perfect, which is, we can't really understand that with our human brain because we were made to be imperfect. We were made to be imperfect. So the perfection of just existing is really hard for us to grasp with the mind, okay? If we go back down into our hearts, when we connect down in our bodies more, so moving your body, breathing deeply, getting in touch with our hearts, getting back out into nature, these things remind us of our perfection. And you might feel that if you go to church or on holidays, or if you have a fun like meditation retreat or any sort of camp or retreat that you go on, you get a sense of just like the perfection of existence itself, just like the gift of being a human right now. It's just a inherent gift. So that's one side of the equation. Okay, but 3 equals 1. So this 1 must equal the trinity of non-duality. Okay, and the trinity is God is 1. Okay, so 3 equals 1. One of those 3's is also God. Okay, so this is also kind of strange, right? So 1 equals 3, one of those 3's equals the same thing. Okay? So God, absolute perfection. What God brought into this manifestation world, this world of things, people, plants, animals, cars, planets, and stars. This realm, what we call this world, okay? God is also this world. God is what makes it this world. Okay, the next one is you, okay, or self with a small s. It could also be a capital S, whichever one you prefer at this point. So just the idea of self or I am, okay? That's another one. However, so now we're on the side of these three. God and self are the same thing. Okay, so even though I'm talking about three, the Trinity of non-duality, the Trinity is also the same. All points on the Trinity, the triangle of the Trinity, is the same thing. So now we have God as perfect on the left side of the equation, and self, which is sometimes imperfect, sometimes perfect. Okay, it depends on if you are talking about me, the small s, or I with the big S. So there's me, like your name, but then there's I, which would be your consciousness, or just pure awareness of I am something, or I am someone. But you have not yet connected with your personality, the me. So the me refers to how you are in the world, who you are in this world. Okay? And that's actually the same as God. So that's really hard to see because it seems like we're living in a life of like suffering and being limited in our humanness. Okay? But paradoxically, that's the same as God. Okay? But it's really important to see how you, both the me and the I, are equal to God, equal to oneness, equal to perfection, equal to the absolute. Okay, so actually the me is equal to God on the right side of the equation, in the Trinity, but also the God on the other side of the equation, the oneness, or the non-dual one. Okay, now the other one is the idea of the other. Okay, other people, my family, my friends, my pet, animals, plants, anything that I can sense. Okay, so we have our five senses. So the other is anything that we feel that we sense. Okay, so when you see things, right, you're not seeing yourself through your sense of vision, you're seeing the other. Okay, so we have God, self, and other is the Trinity. God, self, and other. And remember that these three are the same, they're equal. Okay, so God equals self, self equals God. Self equals other equals self, and other equals God. Okay, so it's a triangle. There's 3 points, and there's 3 lines of relationship. Okay, but also with each one, could also point to the other side of the equation. So the triangle could point or kind of converge. If you have a triangle here, it could converge into the oneness. Like if you have the triangle, the triangle remains a triangle, but it can become a oneness easily, without effort. It can flow back between Trinity, oneness, and it actually never changes in the absolute form. It just can be manifested as the triangle or the Trinity, or it can relax and go back into the absolute. Okay? But whenever something is manifested, it's always as God, as self, as other. Okay? So with you, one of the main things is your relationship with God, your relationship with yourself, and your relationship with your friends, family, colleagues, and all the other humans and animals and stars in the universe. Okay, but more practically, we'll just kind of talk about other people in our lives, the other people in our lives. So that's the key. That's one of the things that people lose on the spiritual path, is the importance of self and other. Self and other. Okay? we as Americans, Canadians, Europeans, on our path, it's really important to discover self, right? We're a very individual focused society, okay? And we need to learn how to love ourselves, yes, absolutely, and learn about who we are, okay? But we already do a lot of that self-focus, okay? But we also do it in the wrong way, okay? In order to do it in the right way, we need to learn about the idea of compassion, love, and peace with the other and with God, okay? So in order for us to truly learn about who we are, we need to learn about who is the other and why do I love the other, and then who is God and why do I love God. Then you can start to question, who am I and why do I love myself? Okay? So in this triangle, all of the energy that's going in between the 3 points and the 3 lines is love and peace. That is the energy, or godness. It's all godness. And it's very, very light and conscious and aware and inherently beautiful and inherently intelligent. So that's the part of relaxing the self a little bit more and kind of fall into other and God. You can relax the self, and when you do that, your true self with a capital S, or your soul, or your Atman, most people call it soul here in Western culture, your soul is seen, or almost like you become your soul and you begin to remember who you deeply are. It's like, oh yeah, that's who I've always been. Okay, so that's kind of what's interesting, is it feels like we're on this huge search for soul. What is my soul? Who am I? But you've never not been your soul. You've never not been God. You've never not been the other person, the other people in our lives. Okay, so when you relax the self and you connect with others in a very profound way, that you actually almost merge, because you connect via the soul. Okay, now some people say that the soul doesn't exist. Those are people who can only see one side of this equation of non-duality. Okay, so some people either see only the non-duality on the right side of the equation, or they're very practical people and they see only the Trinity, or sometimes even the 2 points on the Trinity without God. So they only see self and other, and they don't even see the full Trinity, which also involves God, that which creates this universe that we live in. So there's kind of the spiritual side, like the New Age people who say, oh, it's just all energy, kind of, or the word I'm thinking of is Neo-Advaita, or the people who say everything is just the non-dual. Everything is either empty, or it's just consciousness. Everything is just consciousness, and anything that's manifested as Trinity is illusion. Okay, so yes, it's an illusion, but also it's real. So that's the paradox: is illusion is reality, and reality is illusion. Okay, so I need to slow down because I kind of got on a rant there, but basically, connecting to God is connecting with ourselves and connecting with others. Okay, and eventually, like I said, the Trinity equals one. Okay, so that's really important, is when we see the value of other and when we see the value of God, our self kind of melts into oneness with the world. And the world is always and already oneness with God. So by you melting into the world and love of other people and nature, you inherently commune with God. So you begin to see yourself as one with other and God, and which eventually melts into the absolute oneness. Okay, but it doesn't stop there. The oneness is always manifested as the Trinity, so you can never get away from this Trinity of God, other, and self. Ultimately, you can A lot of people believe that like enlightenment is when everything just goes blank. There's the blankness, but also there's the somethings, all of this stuff, right? Like here's my apartment. I wanted to show you guys my apartment a little bit. Bookcase, and this is all Trinity stuff. Art, Ram Dass, got Green Lantern, and then two paintings by my mom. This one's a painting of Baños in Ecuador, where I lived for a year and a half. And then this one is a painting of Moraine Lake in Canada, Banff, Canada, where I've gone twice now with a really good group of friends. Okay, so that's the Nondual Trinity. I'll kind of keep it there. Kind of a short things to say. But I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to plan on connecting with my website. You can click on the link to my website down below. Make sure you like the video if you liked it. And stay tuned for more interviews. But also I want to sometimes shoot like a 20-minute video on kind of like an idea or like a principle that I find very, very useful in my life and that I would want to share with you guys here on that listen to Spiritual Download. So that's it. I'll keep it there. Love and peace to everybody. Bye.